Good day and welcome to this Station 55 broadcast. I'm your broadcaster, Harquin. Joining me today in the booth is the undeniable, unfriable, unverifiable Matron. What have we got in front of us today?
Oh, we've got a brutal 2v2 today with Snarks and Underpants on the Allies and Will and Ashfall on the Axis.
Excellent. Looks like we've got some heavy armor coming out for this opening. Both sides bringing some vehicle. We've got a Sherman and a Panzer IV going up for the classics face-off.
And we've got Ashfall not wanting to be left behind with a Hetzer as well.
Looks like we've got a sniper coming out as well. This opening call-in, not very orthodox. Could be an interesting change-up.
Yes, indeed. And we've got Will starting with a sniper. We have seen Theta start with a sniper, I believe, in the last game we casted.
Well, you know, some dogs, they learn their tricks and they never quite get out of them.
This is true. This is true.
And it's hard to deny a sniper is a devastating asset to bring, capable of providing both detailed reconnaissance and single model removal. These Panzerschreck Grenadiers might learn that lesson the hard way. Yep, the shot is out. The armor is engaging. Scout car coming in, giving the dust of fire, but not too much.
Just a bit of skirmishing at this point. Ooh, that Panzer IV, though, takes quite a heavy load from the front from those bazooka rangers.
Even with skirts, those bazookas do a ton of damage. Snipers getting ready for the sniper duel. The Axis sniper take the shot. Yes! That's a high hand going to the Axis players right now.
That's a heavy loss there right off the bat.
Sometimes things don't work out the way you plan. But that is the consequence of having a predictable strategy. Knowing what your opponent's going to open with leads to those scenarios.
So despite the loss of a sniper, I would say that the Allies are doing pretty alright at this point. I mean, both of the Axis tanks are below half health, so they got that going.
The Allies don't appear to be taking the initiative in spite of that high hand. Even though, I guess the Axis are in a strategic low position right now with both of their tanks functionally crippled. It's going to come down to which side feels confident enough to take the initiative. Oh, and we've got another sniper out from Snarks. That's going to be a curveball that I don't think the Axis are prepared for so early in the game.
We'll see how much more, how long it takes before he enacts vicious revenge for the loss of his comp.
Certainly. If I know anything about Snark's playstyle, he's a disciplined player who's not going to give away that sniper before it's too early. Looks like the left flank has some action brewing up. This Sherman boldly facing down these Panzerschreck squads, bouncing shot after shot.
Ooh, but he still takes a shot to the Hetzer, taking enemy units down.
Yeah, tough stuff, but so far, not sure that Sherman is too big of a loss for them to soak. Depends on if these Rangers can get some heavy lifting done. The Axis sniper putting in some hurt on those Rangers. That's the thing about Allied squads, they're big enough to soak some damage. The scout car dives in and regrets his decision immediately. Those 30 cows ripping him apart.
Trying to get that AT gun or maybe that last mechanized rifle.
Hard to say what he was going for. He certainly didn't get it, whatever he was looking for. And this mechanized rifleman jumping forward, leading the way with his Thompson fire. Chatter of 45 ACP, but the Hetzer answers in kind.
They're still taking pot shots here and there, whittling away those range.
This American sniper biding his time, looking for his shot. The front line's fairly static so far. Neither side has the territory advantage.
The Axis haven't finished capping their backfield still, and I mean, with most of the combat taking place in the central few sectors, We'll see. We'll see if this is where the battle lines draw out or not.
These riflemen could end up creating the decisive strategic disposition that determines the rest of the game.
God damn it, ground troops are stitched around our asses!
These Panzer bullying those rifles, forcing them to turn tail and run. What have we got coming up from the backfield here? It's a section of Jeeps. A reasonable decision given there's an enemy sniper on the field. Once that sniper's neutralized, Snarks sniper may be allowed to reign supreme.
Indeed, and sure, Lieutenant Underpants has a sniper on his roll call as well.
Tough stuff for the Axis to play into, up against potentially 3 snipers with only 1 or 2 of their own, with only one, Wehrmacht player on their side.
Construction detail, our work is done here.
Well, it is a Vet 2 sniper, so we'll definitely likely has the supply for a second sniper, but I know I don't like to run with multiple snipers in my company. It's a lot of resources to tie up in a single unit.
Well, we'll have to see if those investments pay off over the course of this match. Both sides playing conservatively, cautiously, needling each other, looking for an opening where they can take advantage. Once again, our territory counter is back at dead even.
Underpants bringing up a not a Sherman, an M10.
Ooh, good old Wolverine. That might be able to slip around this wide flank and wreak some havoc. Panzer IV squaring off against this 57. It's a successful face-off. Really getting his value out of Will's really getting his value out of that Panzer IV. He jumps forward. He might accidentally catch the sniper. No, not quite.
Looks like for the AT gun.
Certainly, but if he had just gone forward a few more meters, that would have been quite a catch.
Oh, yep. Hetzer blanked.
Absolutely. Looks like this Hetzer's days are numbered. This Wolverine.
Oh, and they're going in on the sniper. These Jeeps are going in.
Really, it's a question now, who's going to live longer, the Hetzer or the sniper? The Hetzer's down. The sniper in the silo, knocked out by Snarks sniper. That patience paying off.
Taking casualties.
Oh, this is bad for the Axis. They've lost the strategic initiative, and now they're going to lose the tactical battle. And the Panzer IV is down. Can these... and both of the Shrekkers. Meeting a grim
and
fate.
Ashfall's Tank Buster Squad dropped both of its Panzer Shreks, giving Snarks' riflemen a nice anti-tank.
And if they lose the medical half-track here, it's going to be hard for the Axis to play out of this situation. That's a lot of resources gone into the wind.
I can't see this medical half-track getting out of there.
No, I didn't think so. I'm not sure these reinforcements are exactly what the Axis need for this situation. This might be the moment that defines the rest of the game. Sure, these Jeeps, they're heading on their way out, but they did their job.
Under fire, we're hit!
We'll see if the Axis are able to come back from that pretty brutal wiping off of the field.
Well, it's only 9 minutes into the game, and we've got some pretty high-skill players across the board participating, so anything can happen.
True, but I do feel as though that the tempo of the rest of this match has just been set.
Oh, certainly. The Allies have the conductor's baton in hand, and they are certainly conducting this battle's orchestra. Axis squaring up, trying to conservatively estimate how they're going to get back into this fight. Scout car peering over the hedge, pondering that double Shrek rifle squad, possibly the apex predator of infantry units in the game. Tough stuff.
Indeed, indeed.
This bike, seeking some information, spying. The Allies certainly not wasting their initiative, surging forward. They might catch this pack gun out of position. That would be another huge loss the Axis cannot afford to take. These Panzer Grenadiers engaging across the road. This is going to be a tough fight to take. They're already taking pretty hefty casualties as this 30 cal lays into them, and the riflemen just clean them up.
Enemy unit down.
We brought in the scout car to support, but with the 57, the M10 is not going to be long for this world.
But the Pat gun coming in with the steel chair, knocking out that Wolverine, telling him to stay down. This fight's turning out a lot better for the Axis than it initially looked to be shaping up, but now that the squads are suppressed and pinned.
Ooh, a hard off-map 105 barrage. Just catches everything.
Definitely killing the initiative of this assault. This low Knight's Cross soldier laying into them with his STG-44, but
Enemy unit down.
he's not the hero the Reich needs today.
That sniper is open. Panzer Grenadiers
Oh, is this
going.
a fire? Is this a fire barrage coming in? There's an incendiary grenade on the sniper. Oh, where'd the sniper go? Oh, he got in the half track. The sniper limousine pulling him out of the fire.
Oof. There was a good move by Ashfall and Will to try and kill that sniper, but
A lot of resources spent, but not for the returns they needed.
no.
Axis continuing to play into a tough spot. They're definitely making the moves they need to make, but they're not paying off as much as they'd like. This bike can run down this machine gun. It could maybe give them the edge they're looking for. Nope. The M16's coming in, laying in a storm of 50 cal.
Enemy
He's going to
unit
wipe
down.
up that bike. He's going to get the Pat gun as well. I don't think there's anything to stop him.
No other AT to support him. This is a position in which a quad 50 cal thrive.
Oh, certainly. Yep. He cleans it up. Getting blocked by this half-track, but too little too late. It could have been a decisive move if he had gotten it in time. He's reloading, but I think he'll get the belts in. Oh, is he going to end up stuck? No. Some pretty impressive micro here. That sniper, fresh out of his limousine, stretching his legs and wreaking havoc.
Hetzer moving up to support an infantry assault. So
I think that Hetzer's not quite in the right spot. If it had come up from the other flank, it might have been able to relieve some of this pressure being put on Will's forces.
yes, indeed. Unfortunately, it does seem as though the Axis are not coordinating their efforts very well at this.
Well, maybe they'll find an opportunity to pull it back together. This Hetzer
Casualties being reported.
taking a little bit of chip damage from this 57. Not decisive yet. This armored car coming in to lead an assault. This is definitely, I think, the right move for the Axis to make. Dub gun
We've got
Puma.
Will's Puma in to help throw a few shots their way.
I think the armored car's focus is wrong, though. It shouldn't be working on the machine gun. It should be helping the Hetzer take out the 57.
Another 2 Panzer strikes lost. That's rough.
Very rough indeed. The Allies, with their durable, large squads, can make extensive use of those Panzerfausts as we're seeing here today. A brave and valiant light armored charge backed up by the formidable Hetzer, but all of the pieces come together just a little too late.
Forward triage center just on the edge of the battles. The Allies are going to be able to cycle their infantry in real fast.
Certainly. No slow tap today. This M10 looks like he's going to run down this upgun Puma. Well-known fact in the matchup, Puma does not beat a Wolverine. Or the,
Not generally, but he is. The hitboxes are being kind to the Puma.
certainly. If you could just get this other Puma into the fight, they might be able to get the upper hand over this Wolverine and pull back some of the resource lead that they've lost. Got an armored car and an infantry half-track coming up from the Panzer Elite. They might charge across this field, crack open the Allied defensive position.
looks like we got a pair of assault grens in the infantry address.
Oh, if only they were working together, the two Pumas could come in and knock out this M10, but it's not happening. Instead, Ashfall's light armor offensive crumbles under the formidable power of the Allied position.
Our forces are taking casualties.
The Axis team seems to have all the pieces they needed. They just didn't put them together in the right order, and I think they're going to pay for it.
And now things are moving up just a little too late to really make full effect of what they were going for.
Yeah, unfortunately, an assault conducted out of order. This sniper...
That 30 cal back up.
This sniper, he's up to 15 kills so far. Certainly taking back his value.
Ashfall moving a Pack 40 up, but pulling it back once all of his infantry have unfortunately passed on to another world.
Yeah. The MG42 might be able to provide a bulwark, but it's getting flanked by riflemen here.
Oh, these rifles are going in hard after the Pack 40.
The Allied players definitely seem to have all the pieces they need, and they're putting the puzzle together in order. Pack 40 and a pack gun overrun, or sorry, MG42 and a pack gun overrun. The Pack 40 getting chased down.
Oh, but that machine gun set up just in the right way to stop that Pack 40 from getting overrun completely.
These riflemen overextend. If they get too greedy, they could end up paying for it. Quite a high price.
Our forces are taking casualties.
Pack 40 managed to be reclaimed by the Panzer Elite. At least that remains in safe hands. It does look like those riflemen weren't able to execute the chase they were hoping to.
Oh, while the rifles weren't able to seal the deal on getting any of those support weapons, they certainly made the Axis spend a number of resources.
Certainly. And unfortunately, these G43 Grens, they thought they had the upper hand, but that Sherman came in, told them a thing or two. Unfortunately, with Will's forces displaced over here by this farm, and Ashfall's forces fighting from this hill, the Axis players just can't quite get that synergy that makes the magic happen for Axis forces.
It's a real issue that we've been seeing throughout this entire map.
A little bit of a backcap being executed by a lone Panzer Grenadier.
And looking at the platoon counts, Ashfall's already 14 of 16 platoon.
Ooh, that's tough. And
Casualties being
I don't think we're even going to have a chance for a commercial break in this match. Looking at how much film we've got left, the results are starting to look pretty grim.
I do believe it's a tight 30 minutes.
Hopefully it's going to be a 30 minutes where the Axis find a way out, but
Yeah, we will see, we will see.
I personally like to be optimistic.
There are definitely ways, but I don't see any right now, to be quite honest.
Definitely aren't going to be very many ways, with things like this Night Cross squad taking half their health from a single Sherman shot.
Got the Sturm Pioneers going in to try and clear out some of these support weapons.
In charge of the Light Brigade is what it looks like to me. It's a lot of resources to be expending for an assault that's not really paying off. That Hetzer knocked out. Is Sherman coming in to clean up? Sure, he might be going down, but he's going to get the damage he wants to put in.
And we got another Sherman coming out as well. Oh, those Panzer Shreks have certainly been worth their weight in gold for the Allies.
Yeah, but this Pack 40's at least earning his paycheck. Knocking sharp dents in Allied hulls. Not sure it was the right move to use those Sturmpios to recrew that 57. Definitely understand the pressing need for AT, though. Subgun Puma trying to chase off the sniper limousine.
Not just a pressing need to have AT, but also just to deny it to the Allies.
Certainly true. Didn't our forward reporters tell us there was a King Tiger in this game?
Enemy unit down.
There will be a King Tiger appearing at some point in this match, I believe.
Well then, that urge to seek AT dominance makes sense. That could be the strategic asset needed to turn the tables. And they're looking to knock down the hedgerow with this Pak-40. That would be huge, opening up the Allied triage center and letting them knock out one of the main resources for Allied efficiency. I don't think...
And Ashfall is completely on field. He
Already?
is working with all the pieces.
Well, let's see if he can play games harder than he's ever played them in his life. This Berg Tiger... but the Allies have been pretty diligent about knocking out Axis Rex. This Berg Tiger feeling like he needs a job.
Yes, unfortunately, there's doesn't look like there's going to be too many second lives for any Axis vehicles.
Well, those riflemen get wiped out. This Sherman, thinking twice about whether or not it wants to jump forward. They know that the Axis have established an AT belt.
Sniper moving in for a shot on this Pak-40.
You've talked a lot about how Axis resources are doing. How are Allied resources looking?
Well, Snarks has 10 of 18 platoon, and Underpants has 13 of 22. So they're about, a little more than halfway through their companies, respectively.
Oh, that doesn't feel good at all.
No, it does not.
Sniper knocking out the Pak-40.
Will is at 11 of 17, so I mean he's still got a fair bit to work
Enemy
with in his
unit
toolbox. But with Ashfall being everything he loses diminishes the combat width of Axis forces in this match.
In their entirety, you are right. That is one of the pitfalls of the Panzer Elite. When their losses start mounting, they do not have deep reserves to dig into. If this Assault Grenadier half-track could make it work. Oh, but backing into the Sherman is not making it work, I don't think. He needs to get out of there yesterday. Pak-40 putting in its work. Pak-38 putting in its work.
And out of the left field, we have our King Tiger on field.
Der König comes to claim his crown. Let's see if he can make the dream happen. This mortar half-track caught up in a scuffle. If it gets knocked out by the 57, that's not a loss they can afford.
Enemy unit down.
Well, a couple of riflemen trying to get away with the Pak-40.
These elites of the elites sweeping forward to clear the path for the King Tiger. But that sniper continues to put in the work, bravely standing his ground as they approach. Oh, but he's getting back into the limousine. The sniper slips away. The King Tiger coming in to lay down the hurt. Sherman down. The assault grenadiers are being whittled away inch by inch.
Enemy unit down.
What do you think they should do with this King Tiger? Do you think it's currently in the correct disposition, or should it be a little more aggressive?
Well, the only way... supporting the support weapons is probably the right move right now, because they can't afford to be losing AT guns to just regular rifleman squad.
Certainly sensible.
But at this point in the game, a big move is required if they're going to pull it out.
I do say that heroism is simply the line between bravery and stupidity. Sometimes that calls for risk-making.
And we've got Snarks coming up with an Easy 8 Sherman to flank this King.
Oh, that could be tough. But he's distracted by a sprinting Panzer Grenadier. Knocks him out, but that alarm may be what saves the King Tiger from a messy fate. Oh, looks like he's going in for the Kool-Aid Man approach. Gonna burst through this hedge and show the Easy 8 a thing or two about armored warfare. Oh, but he misses. Oh, but they get the rear shot from the front. He's coming in. The terror of the field. He wants blood. He's not afraid of these bazookas and all their glory. Looks like the Easy 8
looks like
slips
he's
away.
gonna back off though.
I think the
The Easy 8 lives to fight another day.
King Tiger's barely taking any damage. Mopping up Rangers. If he's shot, is that effective? Taking off big chunks. This might be what the Axis were looking for. They're getting a Hetzer back up. Putting Nox in on that triage center, but pulling back, I suppose it makes sense. You don't want to overextend, but...
Killing that triage center is, I would
Oh,
think
the Easy 8 knocked out by a captured 57. Good moves. I'm not sure the Axis players are making the right call by laying off on the aggression.
Getting that triage center down would be of paramount importance at this point, because it's really giving their squads the extra little bit of distance they
Too true, too true.
keep things up.
Unfortunately, if this King Tiger ends up sitting in front of this 57,
Enemy fire on our position!
could end up being pretty tough. It's going to be a big question of how this plays out. The Axis,
Captured Panzerschreck still putting in the work.
certainly. The Axis forces, though, are held together by a mighty anchor, but they need to support it as much as it supports them.
Ooh, and there goes all of the Axis support weapons.
Oh, overrun.
By a couple of rifle squads.
Well, that is the fate when you're overwhelmed by the American tide.
Stay the hell down!
Those doughy and doubtless defenders of democracy surging into Normandy. Can't hold them back.
Taking hit!
King Tiger's trying to reposition to support, but not quite getting over there very fast. He's not a nimble fella.
He's strong!
Enemy unit down.
Ashfall taking deeper and deeper combat losses, reduced to just the Berg Tiger, it looks like. Will, commanding his King Tiger valiantly. His expert repair pioneers at the back, watching on in horror as their lines fall apart. And the King and the Knights Cross holders not even allowed to retreat, executed for their war crimes on the Eastern Front, no doubt.
This Berg Tiger just cannot stop taking shots.
And he's gone.
And it's gone.
That's a grim fate for a non-combatant.
Enemy unit
Would have been
down.
a treat if he had knocked out those Rangers, though. Now the real
Well, he
question,
almost did.
is this King Tiger going to get away? His engine's damaged. Sometimes.
Penetrating damage engine shot through the front from a Sherman.
Tragic.
That's always rough to see. Well, I think that's probably curtains for this King Tiger.
Sometimes, even when the battle's over, there's still a story to be told. This 57... No, the Pac-40! The Allies have captured the Pac-40 and they're using it to lay into the King Tiger. Oh, the tragedy! I don't think he's going to get away!
That King Tiger has seen his last Tiger King, I guess.
Joe Exotic would weep if he could see this now. The Sherman
Indeed,
blocking him.
indeed.
There will be no mercy for this Axis armored ace. The Pac-40 from across the map knocks him out. I think those Rangers are a bit salty to be denied the experience.
Immediate vet to
Shame there's not much going to come of that. Oh, looks like there are a few desultory forces coming in from the Axis, looking for that sniper, but he's smoking a cigar in his limo and celebrating a hard day's work. Some Knights Cross holders leading a firm squad of Volksgrenadiers, trying to show them the ropes of war.
and an officer.
He might be resigning his commission after this battle.
Is this bike gonna get out of there? I don't think so.
Unfortunate for conquerors of
Oh,
Europe,
he sticks around.
masters of France. I think this is it. Reducers are
That
running.
is... Yep, that is, I believe,
Enemy
the end.
unit down.
Bike knocked out. Wonder what he's keeping this officer and Volks on for. Well, I can't fault them. Sometimes you just don't want to give up. Put everything down, and there's GG out for the players. Well, I believe that's it. Just a few squads coming on just to walk right off. Well, thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Station 55. Any closing comments?
Well, I mean, like you said during the game, the Axis forces just kept fighting individually, not fighting together, against a pretty solid Allied position in the center of that field.
Certainly. And Lieutenant Underpants brought on his second sniper, or brought on his own sniper, the third sniper of the game. Didn't even see any combat action.
No, there's still a fair bit. We'll still had a fair bit of company left.
Tough stuff. The Axis fought hard, but ultimately the Allies carried the day. Well, this is Station 55,
Indeed.
signing off. Take care.